Thanks for coming on, Sue. I was feeling lonely. We're about to get rolling here, people. People are still flocking in and figuring out their links. So we'll be rolling here in a couple minutes. It's nice to see so many people here. I wish we could see you. Um, we might be able to figure out a way later to let people in so we can all see each other at the end. So um, Darcy will we'll chat about that later.
Yeah, we might want to just open everyone's video up at the end one by one and we can all see each other.
I love that idea.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to wait. I'll do it one by one, so it'll be kind of like a flood. It'll be fun.
Oh, it's fine, but we'll just wait till the end of the program to do that.
Sounds good.
Yay! Thank you, Darcy.
Sure.
We were having some technical difficulties here. All of a sudden, my mic started making some funny
Peter,
sounds.
we've been having technical difficulties since March.
I think this is just this is part of the par for the course.
Absolutely.
Can everyone see us right now?
Yes.
They can. Hello, everyone. I know you can't really all wave back, but
I can at home.
yeah, we can see your interactions there. You can see your texting on the side.
Well, maybe we should begin.
My sister's here. Woo!
Ah.
Nice.
So, hello everyone. We
Hello.
are the dance musicians. And maybe I did say I was gonna thrust right into right now, but there are people here who probably don't know about Dance Musicians Week, and maybe we should just say a word about that. So normally we go down to Brasstown, North Carolina, where the John C. Campbell Folk School, which is the most magical place in the world, exists, and we teach this thing called Dance Musicians Week for a week in July. The folk school has workshops all year long. We're just 1 week out of the year. But for us, it's the most special week because we're there. But it is an incredibly special place. I'm looking at the computer and not at the camera. Now I'm looking at the camera. It is an incredibly special place.
Camera.
There is a camera. And we get about 30 students for the week, and our students learn to play traditional dance music throughout the week, and everyone gets to participate and eventually play a dance. And I think as the evening goes on, we will say more about the John C. Campbell Folk School. But right now, let's just start. We're actually going to go into all playing together. And the four of us, Sue Songer, Betsy Branch, Peter Siegel, Andy Davis, are going to be playing with David Kaner. So here it is, our opening tune. And it's not a live thing, but we will be live right after this.
Just to prove we're live.
Let me actually do this one thing. I'm going to make sure.
Make sure you share the computer sound. That checked at the bottom there.
Where is it?
Yeah, the stuff down here. Yeah, got it.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Excellent.
There it is.
You can drag that. Does that? Oh, yeah, good. They don't see that thing down there. Peter. That was really fun. And I'm
Amazing.
not even tired. But playing with David was so inspiring just then.
Betsy, you wanted to say a couple of words about that, didn't you?
Yes, I do. So that was a really special moment for me in 2010 when David and I got to be on staff together at the American Festival of Fiddle Tunes up in Port Townsend. And that was the opening concert. And Jamie Allen was the opening tune that we played. And I have such fond memories about that week with David at that festival. So I'm really excited that we got to share that with all of you. And it was really fun to play along with 2010 me in 2020. So like it said, that tune's called Jamie Allen. And it's one of the great old, wonderful New England tunes of all time. So
It was the wiser Betsy playing with the old Betsy, right?
much wiser. A few more gray hairs now.
Oh, so we're going to do some tunes from Quebec, right?
Absolutely. All right, let's just play them.
All right, let's do it. D, G, and A.
D, G, and A. All right, here we go.
applauding, but we're thinking you might be doing this.
Woo!
So I do want to say one thing about where we are. We're on my porch in Brattleboro, Vermont, in a little neighborhood called Swedesville. Andy lives one street over, but over an enormous hill. And
we're maintaining our 6 feet distance here.
we are we're about 4.5 feet, but but it's a wide angle lens, so it's
That helps.
that helps. And we've got the unique thing about this is we've got our East Coast, West Coast thing, and Betsy and Sue are over in Portland. David Kaner is down in Montague. And right now we're going to play some tunes from the South, but with our instruments on the floor. So we have some old-time tunes coming up right now, the way Northerners would play them.
We really wanted to do some things as a whole staff, so we brainstormed some medleys, and this is featuring Betsy Branch on the North Carolina Breakdown, going into Rock the Cradle Joe.
Whoa. I'm opening up quit. What am I doing? Here we go. I'm going to turn it over to Betsy, who's going to sing us a song, I believe. Or
Whoa. I'm also managing the spotlight video thingies. So hi everybody. Here we go. So at some point we're going to invite David to come on and be a panelist with us and say, so we can all wave at him. But we'll do that a little bit later because we really want to, we're really happy that he could come to our class this morning. So we've been doing classes all week and we've had a really amazing group of people come and learn from us, and it's been super inspiring actually. So I've really enjoyed that. So right now I want to sing you a song. This is a beautiful Irish pub song, and all of you at home can sing along with me if you would like. I'll teach you the chorus, and if you can't get the whole chorus, you can at least get the end of the chorus, which is, "For we may or may never all meet here again." And I'll see if I can sing it without crying. I had to pick carefully which song I was going to sing today because right now there are so many songs that while I'm singing them, I can get about a third of the way through and I burst into tears. So this is called "Here's a Health to the Company," and the chorus I'll sing once goes like this, that you can join me on when it comes up. Here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. So the part that if you can't remember all of it, you can at least do, for we may or might never all meet here again. All right, so enjoy. Fine friends and companions, come join me in rhyme. Come lift up your voices in chorus with mine. Come lift up your voices, all grief to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. So here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. Here's a health to the wee lass that I love so well. For style and for beauty, there's none can excel. There's a smile on my countenance as she sits upon my knee. There is no one in this wide world as happy as me. So here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. My ship lies at anchor, she's ready to dock. I wish her safe landing without any shock. And if ever I should meet you by land or by sea, I will always remember your kindness to me. So here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For we may or might never all meet here again. Excuse me. Here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For we may or might never I'll meet here again. Woo! Thank you. We have been, one of the things we've been doing this week is, teaching tunes to our class. And one of the sets we did is a set of jigs. And the first jig is written by Andy Davis. And he wrote it in honor of David Kaner, our good friend. And he calls it Kaner's Frolic. And he wrote it in 2019, so it's a very new tune. And the second tune that we taught to go with this is a tune that David himself wrote called Richard's Jig. And so our class seemed to really like this set. And so we prepared a special presentation of this set with the four of us playing this. And we would like to dedicate this set to David. You're watching.
Wow, that was fun. That's
Super
the most
fun.
relaxed I've been playing dance music in a long time. The part I really miss about Dance Music Week is calling all the dances on that big, beautiful wooden floor at John C. Campbell, and just being in North Carolina. And of course, the staff there is awesome at the John C. Campbell Folk School. The food is really wonderful. And you're not there just with other musicians, you're there with potters and weavers and all kinds of artisans and blacksmiths, and it's a really wonderful creative community. Then I hope that lots of people learn about this through some of these activities online and decide at some point in the future to get down to John C. Campbell Folk School in Brasstown, North Carolina. It's a very beautiful place. So I think I'm going to do a song next. And I was trying to think what song to do. I really do like writing songs. I shared some songs last year when I was down at John C. Campbell. And this is a song I wrote when I was teaching music in the Vermont public schools. And I spent about 32 years up at the Dover Elementary School. And that was a great, great part of my circuit. A lot of us in Vermont teach in more than one school because the schools are kind of small. And I worked under a lot of principals. And the principal one year had this wonderful habit of putting quotations around the school. And one day I was walking down to use the photocopier or something, and I just happened to notice this quotation written on the wall that Mr. Anton had put there, and it said, "A ship is always safe at shore, but that's not what it's for." And that kind of got stuck in my mind, partly because my son at the time was sailing from New Zealand to Tahiti in a little three-masted sailing ship. So I was kind of sensitive to the whole topic of the safety of sailing ships. I have had some sailors tell me that they lost their ship when it was at harbor. Nothing's safe if a hurricane comes through, even a harbor. But this quotation came from Albert Einstein, and I thought it was a really evocative idea about not really knowing what's ahead of us. It's all about the voyage. And I wrote this, and my students performed it several times over the years in different schools. And it's simply called "What Ships Are For." And Peter's going to join me a little ad-lib mandolin. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what ships are for. They're meant to carry us away and fill our face with ocean spray. We'll find adventure on the way, and that is what a ship is for. Cut the line and let her go, batten down the hatches. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, despite the wild wind and rain. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what ships are for. They're meant to carry us away and fill our face with ocean spray. We'll find adventure on the way, and that is what a ship is for. Set your course across the sea, find your way by starlight. This voyage is no easy ride, sailing against the rising tide. Rising tide, wind and rain, starlight and home again. Rising tide, wind and rain, starlight and home again. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what ships are for. They're meant to carry us away and fill our face with ocean spray. We'll find adventure on the way, and that is what a ship is for.
Ah, Andy, what a great song.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
We're
And
going right.
you
Oh, sorry,
can
Betsy, you
see
go on.
that I was doing 3-part harmony with them. I wish,
I wish you were here to do it in person, Betsy.
There's a lot of good stuff going on at Stanford with research around being able to do this at some point soon. That's where all the music money's going.
Yes, help stamp out latency.
So you're gonna play us a tune, Betsy, on the fiddle?
I am. This is true. So I have several really amazing fiddle mentors in my life. One of them, of course, is David, who taught me most of everything I know about playing harmonies. Another one of my fiddle mentors, though, is right here in Portland, Kevin Burke, great Irish fiddle player. And I have had the honor to work with Kevin on a book, and he and I put a book out together. It looks like this. It's called The Solo Albums, but it really is a book. You can tell by the spiral binding. And what it is I'm his transcriber, and I transcribed 4 of his solo albums. So it has really detailed transcriptions of his playing. Looks something like that. Has awesome pictures. And so I decided, a lot of it's solo fiddle, and I decided since I'm here playing alone in my back room, I would do a solo fiddle piece. And so I'm going to play one of my favorite tunes I learned from Kevin's playing, a wonderful jig called The Strayaway Child. And this is what it looks like in the book. And one of my favorite things is it has this great little picture of Kevin as a really little kid. He's a super cute little kid. So, you can find this book in a number of places. You can also just email me and I can mail you one. Oh, and Darcy put a link in for elderly music where you can find the book too. So thank you, Darcy. That was really nice of you. This is The Strayaway Child. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful old Irish jig.
Beautiful, Betsy.
I love that tune. So, for those of you keeping track at home, there's, I don't know, I can't remember if it has, I think it has 7 parts. I can't remember, 6 or 7 parts. So, any of my fiddle students that are out there, it can be your challenge tune of the summer.
Nicely played, Betsy.
Thank you. And I got a nice sweet note from George Wilson. Hey out there, George.
George.
Wow, George.
George.
Glad you're here, George. Well, we have a song next that is a collective effort, a transcontinental arrangement. It's a well-known song, and I believe this is a song that both David Kaner and George Wilson, and many of you know. I think I first heard Gordon Bach sing it, but it's been sung and recorded by many, many people, called Come by the Hills to a Land Where Fancy is Free. And I believe it was originally written about, Scotland or Ireland. But whenever I go up to the northern part of Vermont and cycle around Lake Champlain and see the Adirondacks rising to the west and the Green Mountains rising to the east, I think of this song where the peaks meet the sky and the lochs meet the sea. And we talked about having a song that we would participate in, the three of us that are the singers on the staff, Betsy and Peter and I suggested this song, and I want to give a shout out to our church pianist and organist Patty Meyer, who recorded the piano part, and you'll hear me on accordion and a 3-part harmony of Come by the Hills, a kind of soothing, healing song for these troubled times.
Did you mention that you wrote the piano part, Andy?
Yeah, this is an arrangement I did in my career. Every bunch of years I was the conductor of the district middle school chorus festival, and one year I arranged this and While My Guitar Gently Weeps, both for 100 plus middle schoolers. It was fun, and I think they enjoyed this song, but I do think they liked the Beatles a little more, but it was good for them, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, come by the hills to the land where fancy is free.
Fancy is
Stand where the peaks meet the sky, where the lochs meet the sea,
where the rivers run clear, bracken is gold in the sun. All the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. Oh, come by the hills to the land where life is a song,
where life is a
and where the birds will be happy all day long, where the trees sway in time, even the wind sings in
wind sings into.
all the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. Oh, come by the hills to the land where legend remains,
Where legend remains.
stories of old fill the heart, faded from the air, where the past is not lost, the future is still to be born. All the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. All the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. All the cares of tomorrow, all the cares of tomorrow, all the cares till tomorrow can wait till this day is done.
Hey, Andy, be sure and unmute if you want to talk. Lovely.
Andy said it relaxed him, and I said we have to pep up.
And now we're supposed to play reels after that.
We're going to play some New England things, huh?
We're going to play Far Away. Is that what it's called? Far Away?
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Far Away would be more like the aesthetic of the last.
Yeah, there is a tune. There's a lovely waltz by Pete Young called Far Away. Yeah, Far From Home into Pat the Budgie, which is a Canadian tune, but very New England style. And then we're going to finish up with a classic that, as Peter mentioned, has been at the top of the dance hit parade since sometime in the 1800s or earlier, Fisher's Hornpipe.
Let's see.
So, keys of G, keys of C, and keys of D.
Yes.
Why don't you give us 4 somethings? few notes there, but I'm not sure they were needed with Peter on the mandolin.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know if they were all the right notes, but
I couldn't help but play it on guitar at home.
Excellent.
It was fun. And I wanted to add a David Kainer quotation right here. 17 more times! Sue! Sue is here somewhere. She's...
oh, I think before Sue, we're doing one more thing in between, right?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Sue.
That's okay. I'll be back.
False alarm. Sue's invisible right now, but she's...
She's really there. So, Peter...
I'm here. I'll explain in a few minutes.
I want to just express gratitude for the week, and you know, out of these hard times, sometimes come some unexpected, wonderful things, and one of the things is that we made friends that we probably would not have made if this whole thing hadn't have happened, and they might be at the folk school next year hanging out, and we might meet them in real life, and we hope that that you know we've built relationships. I've been doing this Dance Musicians Week for 20 years now. God, it's weird to say that, but that's how long I've been doing it. And so we have this list of just people that have, you know, and occasionally they just show up during Dance Musicians Week. We come back to see people who are not necessarily even in our class, and it's about the community as well. So we're glad to extend that community.
That was a nice group of folks from Sweden that participated this week.
And England?
And England. We had
Yep.
England and Sweden, and really nice folks.
I want to mention one thing, which is that we are, you know, if you want to donate to our cause, I think there's going to be a link that Darcy is going to put up or will put up, and we're also going to give a portion of that back to the folk school as well. So, because we believe in the place and in this whole thing.
And also to David.
Oh, and to David, yes, indeed. And I also want to give a shout out to Bob Dulcimer, who might be here right now, who started this program many, many years ago with David.
Yes, and Darcy just posted the payment information in the chat over there. So you can do PayPal or Venmo.
Well, this is a song about kind of what I was talking about, which is about how there's a bright side to this whole thing, maybe. And it has no title whatsoever, but it's the closing song of my weekly little thing I do on Facebook on Sundays. But here's how it goes. Some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it way out loud. Some better times better lay ahead. I'm gonna paint a silver lining around that cloud. Could finally be the catalyst to turn a stranger into a friend. Could be the shot heard around the world that prevents the world's fiery end. Oh, maybe it's a sign that we all reflect about how family time's been lacking. Could be the straw to break the camel's back, to send the big fat orange man packing. Oh, play it! I said some good's gotta come out of this. I'm going to sing it till my vocal cords burn. Some better times better lay ahead. Now let's give a little sanity a turn. I don't believe in old-fashioned superstition or some all-great mighty decree. Sometimes feeling a little hardship is a gift for you and me. I mean, look at the musicians making the most of it all, singing songs in their underwear. They may have no gigs and they can't feed their kids, but their families are... the audiences are big aware out there. Some good's got to come out of this. Take it. I said, some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it loud and clear. Some good's gotta come out of this. Maybe we'll shift into a slower gear. Maybe we'll open up our eyes real wide and notice the have and have-nots. We're gonna slow down, look around, and take stock at what we got. Like less air pollution, more time with the kids, fewer elevator farts, time for reflection, time for redemption, time, fewer moving parts. Play it again. Woo! Let's all sing it together. I said some good's gotta come out of this. I'm gonna sing it way out loud. I said some better times better lay ahead of that vein, a silver lining round that cloud. Yeah. Oh, Andy, it's so great to play with you.
It's nice to stretch oneself out of one's comfort zone. That's such a great tune, though.
Huh. Yeah,
How do you remember all those lyrics, Peter?
Oh, I don't.
You guys are, that was fabulous.
Thank you.
Hi, Sue.
Hi.
There she is.
So I've been here the whole time, but I'm totally used to hiding behind pianos at gigs. So this has felt like really normal to me to be out of view. I've had really bad luck moving equipment around all week long, and I did not want to have to adjust the camera in the middle of this concert, so I chose to just sit down out of view so everything would be operational by the time it was my turn, which it is now. So I want to show you another part of David that you may not be aware of. Many of you know him as a fine musician and dance caller and teller of stories, but unless you have lived in New England for a long, long time, you may not know that he is also a wonderful graphics artist. And we have a little demonstration of that ready to go, and Peter will show that in 1 second. Then I'll say a little more. All right, aren't those beautiful? There are around 60 such pieces of art altogether. And before I talk a little more about that, I just want to echo what other instructors here have said about the folk school. It's been such a privilege to be a part of Dance Musicians Week. This would have been the 10th or 11th year for me, and we've met so many wonderful people and have become really attached to that special part of North Carolina over the years, all of us. And I hope that if you haven't been there, you will get a chance to go at some point. So, back to David. Show you this book. This is a book. It's called Calling for Beginners by Beginners, and David put this book together in the early 90s. largely focused on new callers, but part of it is still relevant. Well, all of it is still relevant, and the whole book will be included in a new book that is coming out about David. It's not finished yet, but it's underway, and here is the cover. This David A. Kaner, Living, Music, and Dance, and David chose that title himself and has been quite involved in getting the pieces of the book together. This will contain all the many tunes that David has composed and the harmonies that he's written for the tunes, the dances that he's choreographed, autobiography that he has written, and much, much more. And that it will also include Calling for Beginners in its entirety. And if you would like to be on a mailing list for when this book is ready, you can email me, and I wasn't prepared to do this at all, so I don't have any email address up and ready, but you can probably find it in Folk School.
I just put your email in the chat, Sue.
Oh, I'll put it in the chat once I sit back down. So I would like to read something that David wrote in his book that I think is still very much applicable. This is his final words to callers that he was addressing. I write with beginning callers in mind. A wider group than this has in fact been in my mind. Dancers, musicians, organizers, established callers, and anyone who thinks about them, which is pretty much all of us. The rewards are undeniably many and great for involving yourself with the skilled, inspiring, and entertaining people who have done so many great things for our activity and are indeed so deserving of our support and appreciation. But sooner or later, one of us, or you yourself, will ask what you are really doing and for whom and why. Is it first and foremost for yourself? I think it should be. Beyond that, it could be for other people, for the heck of it, fun, free beer, money, love, fame, the right causes, high ideals, beatification, rewards in the hereafter, or whatever. If you do it well, and happiness spreads, and communities evolve, and horizons enlarge, and friendships deepen, and lives settle into better living, and you had a hand in it, it will all someday come back to you. What goes around comes around. And if you did the right things, it stands you in good stead, as it has for me. And David, you wrote those words nearly 20 years ago. I hope that all the good you have done has come around back to you 1,000-fold in this intervening time, and will continue to do so.
Fabulous. Hey, Peter, can I say a quick something about the next set?
Please.
Okay. We're going to close with another one of, by the way, I just want to give a big shout out to both Peter and Andy for all this video editing they've done this week. I mean, it's above and beyond. So everybody just give a big yay.
Thank you, Betsy. It's been fun.
Totally.
Yeah. So this next thing is a really special thing for me too, because probably also in about 2010, David and I got to play a concert set at Folklife Festival in Seattle. And so this is from that, and you know, it just wouldn't feel right to have a Dance Musicians Week without playing Money Musk at least once. So take it away, Peter.
All right.